Good evening, everyone, and welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar, Tim Vicious. And folks, we are going to be talking about what Raw it was in Oklahoma City. It was a pretty good crowd. Not one of the best, but not necessarily one of the worst either. But before we do that, I want to address big hot topic that wound up breaking over the past weekend before the filming of this week's episode. It's pretty much the whole, what I'm calling the whole Hulk Hogan debacle. You know, it was apparently, you know, there's no actual audio recordings, only transcripts are being released, but apparently Hulk Hogan threw out some racial slurs to a girlfriend he was with when he wound up making a sex tape. But I'm not going to put my, even though this is an opinion-based show, I'm not going to put my opinion on saying whatever about what all I'm saying is, and these are the words from the man himself, Rip Rogers, who has put this best. Guarantee 99.99% of the planet is guilty of saying at least one inappropriate racial slur and at some point in their life. Good example, right now with this show, right here with this shirt right here. Folks, you have seen it before. I have made several jokes, not just in regards to, I have made several jokes in regards to cultures, lifestyles, you know, sexual orientations, you name it. You know, fact is, you don't just have to go, it's not just in particular based off of color of skin. But the point is, he wound up saying that behind closed doors, and what Rip Rogers was saying, you wind up saying something behind closed. We've all said that, but we've all said something like that behind closed doors at one point or another. And if that's the case, then we should all be fired from what we do. Hell, if that's the case, then my executive producer, Ali Ben, should fire me right now. I know for a fact he won't, because he even sees the argument on what I've said. Now, right, wrong, or indifferent, do I think what Hogan said was, do I agree with what Hogan said? No. But the point being, man said it, man fucked up, take it, go with it, move on. That's that. End of discussion. You want to talk more? You want to talk more on it? Look me up on my Facebook gimmick Tim Ash or on my Twitter Tim Vicious. Now, on with this week's show. Monday Night Raw kicked off. Seth, Hunter, and the MILF in charge, Stephanie, coming out, and oh dear God, did Steph look on point tonight. Woo! Wasn't exactly sure if the temperature was rising or it was the fact that I saw her in that getup. Ow! Either way, don't judge people. I've been single for a good while. Yep, but either way, yeah, they come out, they talk about on how this is going to be, on how they got a lot of firsts coming up. This Raw is going to be a first time show, you know, a lot of first times going on it, as well as big breaking news to announce, saying that SummerSlam is going to be a 4-hour show, much like WrestleMania is, and you know, okay, I can go with that, I can accept that. Not really a problem. The only way I will see that as a problem, is if, and I emphasize if, they wind up having some cheesy ass musical guest. I mean, they wind up getting someone half decent, like Rancid. That's a pipe dream. That I know for a fact they'd never get them. But you know, they get someone half decent. Or even like Five Finger Death Punch, then hey, I'm cool, I'm good, I'm the man. You know, but you wind up putting some shitty ass crap out there like they've been with their music guests, and then just gonna be look and be like, oh dear God, what are all these kids listening to nowadays? Yeah, But they come out, they do that, and then Seth, he gloats over on how, you know, even though Taker is going after Brock, Seth's gloating over on how Taker went after Brock, and them two are going to be going at it, that Seth wound up still walking out with the champ as the champion. Then, of course, Captain Buzzkill, John Cena comes out. Joy. Cena comes out, talks about on how, you know, he called Seth out last week for a title, with the title, and Seth just walked away, which he did. And you know, in all honesty, and I talked about this earlier with my little click, my idea, have Seth versus Cena at SummerSlam, title versus title. You know, much like in the same sense like Hogan versus Warrior at WrestleMania. And, you know, have Seth win in a clean way. You know, doesn't have... Oh, okay, let me rephrase that. When I say in a clean way, I mean somebody go to try to interfere, but Cena stop them, and then Seth going and doing whatever he does to get the finish. You know? That's what I mean, you know, because the way Seth's character is now, he's kind of playing like this opportunistic kind of heel, you know. But you know, have him remold Seth a little more into like maybe something like a Ric Flair dirty heel, you know, like the dirtiest player in the game. Like, you know, go to the ref, be like, how much time is left in the match? And then when the ref ain't looking, boop, right in the eyes, you know. But have them two win, have them two go at it, Seth win, and, you know, just like with WrestleMania when Hogan versus Warrior, have Seth win the US title, but the next night on Raw, just be like, hey, yeah, it's a nice title, it's pretty good, but it's no World Heavyweight title. Boom. And just basically do like a mic drop with the title. And then just, you know, shit and piss all over it until you know, he's like blue in the face. And then they just announce a tournament taking place from like that night on Raw, on each night on Raw, have a tournament begin until it leads to the next pay-per-view after that at Night of Champions, where they crown a new US champ. Something like that. I think that could work because it would keep a empty, vacated title in the public eye, as well as, you know, it would make some notoriety on. But yeah. Moving along though, Cena came out, called Seth out, said he wanted a shot at the title, and Hunter and Steph were like, well, why don't we ask the people? Do you folks want it? Yeah. Well, no. Which, God bless them, those guys know on how to troll with the best of them. And then they said, but what we will do instead is, tonight, we will give a main event of John Cena versus Seth Rollins for the US title. And then after that, then we got our first match tonight, Ambrose versus Big Show, and Big Show. And Miz was on commentary for whatever reason. Yeah, wearing that freaking Pippi Longstock, or not even a Pippi Longstock, just some freaking hood sleeve Jedi robe thing, whatever the fuck that is. What the? Seriously? Seriously? I know. Wow! What is that? It looks like you just grabbed a piece of cloth from the fabric department in Walmart and wrapped it over your head like, what? Wear a damn hat or a hoodie or something, man. Make yourself look normal. Cool it. Need to cool my blood pressure, man. And we're back. So, Ambrose versus Big Show, you know, it's a big first thing right off bat. Show wound up ripping Dean Ambrose's shirt off, in which case The very second he did that, and the camera was able to get a clear shot of Dean Ambrose's chest, if you listen closely, you can hear the sound of a million fangirls' ovaries all exploding at once because they're just looking like, Dean Ambrose is shirtless. And I'm not knocking the girls because, you know, I'm not knocking them fangirls for that because, you know, hey, anytime when Lana got into that cat fight with Summer Rae, you know, and wound up getting that little sneak shot of Lana's undies, yeah, I was just like, I was the same way, like, oh. You know, so, ladies, I ain't trashing you, I'm just saying, that's on what it was. You know, but as far as what the match goes, you know, I gotta tell you, Dean wound up making Big Show look half decent, which, you know, considering on how Show has been for the, well, I would like to pretty much say for forever, you know, just, yeah. But, yeah, it's a Dean, he wound up hitting this freaking beautiful DDT. I absolutely love that, you know. One thing, it got me mad and it tweaked me, and it's been an issue I've been going on about for a while, and I'm still going to be going on about it every time I see it. They're kicking out of the damn finishers. Ambrose gets a choke slam thrown right on him, and then next thing you know, what does he do? He kicks out. Ugh. God almighty. That's a freaking finishing maneuver for anyone that is 7 foot tall. You know? The only guys I ever saw that used that as a signature move was Scott Hall and Hurricane. You know? And when the Hurricane did it, I thought that was just a comical joke. I mean, for crying out loud, Kane still uses that as a finisher. So you're telling me Kane, who is roughly got maybe an inch or two shorter than Big Show, can throw a choke slam and have it be thrown with such authority that nobody will kick out. But Big Show, who legitimately has gigantism, had to get surgery at a particular age when he was a teenager to prevent himself from suffering the same types of pain and turmoil that Andre the Giant did, wound up, he, who is over 7 foot tall, 400 plus pounds, can throw a choke slam, but not with enough authority to make somebody kick out. Anyone else see the problem here? Anyways, like I said, Ambrose, he made Show look good. You know, he made him, you know, Dean pretty much made himself look like he was on the ass end of an ass kicking, which, hey, you know, as much as I like Ambrose, as much as I dig and love Ambrose, you know, it was needed. You know, you need to have good, strong heels, because you can't have a good protagonist without an even stronger antagonist. Or however it is, I can never remember which one's the good guy and bad guy. You can't have a good bad guy without an even better bad guy, pretty much put it. You know? And, you know, sings on how Show switches between heel and face as often as, you know, I switch out socks and underwear, which, for the record, folks, every day, so no making any kind of bad jokes. You know, it's needed. And so it's needed, but Ambrose just wound up pretty much just like, all right, Show, go ahead, hit me, and just let Show go to town on him, you know. And then, you know, almost got a couple countouts on Ambrose, almost got a couple countouts thrown at him, and then eventually he crawled back into the ring, wound up getting a few shots in. Show was outside. Ambrose bounced off the rope, went to go do a suicide dive, and as he's coming out, Show, boom, just a KO punch, and Ambrose just, knocked him down, just knocked him clean down. After that, After that, wound up getting the count out win. Yeah. So, and next matchup we had after that, it was Neville versus Hopper or Dingleberry? Ratatouille? I'm gonna get this guy's name right eventually. Johnny Curtis. No. Movie company gimmick infringement. I think that's it. Yeah, we'll go with that. So, it was Neville versus Fandango, and honestly, folks, this was a really short match. You know, it was too short to even really call. Both guys got like 2 or 3 shots in on each other, and then next thing you know, Neville did an over-the-top dive, tossed in Fandango, hit a red arrow, got the 1, 2, 3. Literally, that short. After that, Stardust came on the video, cut a promo against him. So it looks like that we're going to wind up getting Stardust versus Neville going on for a minute, leading into SummerSlam, which honestly I can't really complain too much on because, you know, Cody's coming back from his dad passing. We all felt bad for Dusty going. Can only imagine on what Cody and Goldie went through. You know? But the fact is, the fact that he's staying as Stardust instead of just, you know, doing like what all the Smarky McSmarkertons out there wanted and just be like, oh, just go back to being Cody. No, he pretty much made the Stardust thing. Let him roll with it. You know, I mean, Cody is a huge nerd. Cody is a huge nerd, and you know, he's pretty much making himself into a comic book villain. Let the man have his fun doing it. You know? Next matchup we wound up getting was Paige versus Sasha Banks, which, you know, this was something I just felt like, oh damn, we getting NXT up here? We getting all NXT up on here now. Somebody make me some damn popcorn. And then as I was watching, I was seeing Paige call out spots, and I was just like, oh, what the fuck? Seriously, damn it. Yeah, it's the really biggest vice on that, you know, hearing people call out spots like that, you know. I mean, it's I'm in no position to talk because I would do that myself, but I was also adamant, you know, come up with little codes instead of just going to say suplex then DDT, you know, instead of doing that, just be like, you know, go and throw out like a code, be like, all right, when I go and say, come and get me, you son of a bitch, that's going to be, when I say that, that's when I want you to come at me and then hit me with a suplex and then hit me with a DDT. You know, something like that. Yeah, it's just, you know, random little things. It's the little things that make the big stuff look better. You know, and if you can make you want to make the big stuff look good, you got to make the little things look good. Because you can't have one without the other. Because while the little 7 and 8-year-olds right now don't hear that, you know, they stick with this sport up until they're my age and older. They're gonna wind up hearing that and be like, oh, what the fuck? This kid don't know on how to work a match. He's got to keep on saying it every 5 seconds. What to do next? You know? But, yeah. Other than that, the other big gripe that I can truly say that I have with this match was Sasha. She's been on Raw for a couple weeks now, and she still ain't come out with the damn NXT Women's title. It's pissing me off to no end, and I'm not the only one. You know, but, damn. Owens was able to come out with the NXT Championship, and when the Ascension were NXT champs, when they were competed on main event, they had it. And when Charlotte was Women's Champion, when she did that match with Natty, you know, on Raw, she wound up having the women's title on her. Point being, Sasha, honey, rule number 1, never leave the title at home. Please, just come out with the title again. We miss it. We need to see a real woman's title, not that little butterfly-looking thingy. I don't even know how to do the hand gesture for it. Stop it. Act right. See, I'm getting that fidgety over it. Ugh. Yeah. All in all, though, it was a pretty okay match. I dug the shit out of it, you know. Definitely glad we're getting more than just women's Definitely glad we're getting women's matches that actually look like matches again, instead of just like ones with the 5-minute headlock of doom or the ever infamous forearm of death. You know, Sasha won. She wound up getting in the bank statement, and next thing you know, just page tapped, and that was it. You know, so next matchup wound up having Lucha Dragons versus the Matadors. Primetime Players were on commentary, and again, Primetime Players on point. You know, pretty much just shutting Cole and JBL down. Saxon was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay quiet. Y'all motherfuckers are gonna wind up being, y'all motherfuckers are getting shot down as it is. I ain't looking to get that. You know, but yeah, this was as close to a real luchador match that WWE is gonna get for a very long time. You know. Yeah, and while it's nowhere near like on the level of what Lucha Underground puts on TV, this, as far as what for WWE standards for a lucha match, not bad. Although I do gotta agree with Titus, you know, I want to know, who the hell ever heard of a Puerto Rican bullfighter? Seriously. If any of y'all know on how or where, you know, by all means, like I said at the beginning of the show, hit me up. Facebook, Tim Ash. My Twitter, Tim Vicious. One or the other. Somebody tell me. You know? Yeah, it was pretty okay. I mean, one thing that confused me to no end was right out of nowhere, near the end of the match, the New Day wound up coming out and they were holding up a sign saying, "Greatest dad ever," for talking about with Kofi, and obviously they were meant to do that as a knock against Titus, because Titus won the greatest athletic dad and greatest sports dad of the year or something like that, that kind of award, you know. But they were coming out doing that and egging on the Primetime Players, which confused me because the Lucha Dragons and Matadors are going against each other to get a tag title shot. So why aren't they trying to mess with either of them? Because what they could have done instead, easy enough, have New Day come out, distract, you know, obviously provoked Primetime Players, but, you know, also in the process, provoke the Lucha Dragons and the Matadors, have them go out and attack them, have it turn into a big hoopla, go into a no contest, and then lead it into a 4-way tag match at SummerSlam instead. You know, something like that, something that simple. You know, it's... So, next matchup after that, we'll wind up having Charlotte and Becky Lynch versus Nikki and Alicia, and wow, this was really awesome because this was really Becky's time to shine, and Becky did not disappoint making a debut on Raw. You know, really making her mark, saying, "I'm here on Raw now, bitches," and she wound up doing it. Yeah, she was good. I felt bad because, Nikki wound up getting Breeze Virgil's spot for the night. You know, getting the shit kicked out of her. Yeah, but it was a pretty good match for what it was. It was a 6-minute show on that one. Yeah, Becky wound up winning using disarm her. It's just an arm bar. just an armbar on Alicia. Yeah, but the fact that they definitely a lot better than the name that they were trying to go with before. Yeah, I'm not even going to go into detail on that. It was Becky wound up saying disgusting, and she had that and of course she has that very heavy Irish brogue in her voice. So it sounded a little funny, and they tried calling that. No, just no. No. All in all, though, I can't complain because we're actually getting women wrestlers on the roster who are, believe it or not, wrestling. Not just doing hair pulling, the headlock of doom, and the forearm of death. You know? Yeah, I'm honestly also now just need Bayley, and just waiting for Bayley to get pulled up now, because then Monday Night Raw will forevermore be pure happiness for me. Anytime there's a women's match and Bayley's out, you know, even if she's just in a jobber match, because I absolutely fucking love Bayley. She's like everything that is good and pure about women's wrestling right now, because she's just so lovable. Yeah. So next matchup, it was Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, and Sheamus was on commentary. Kind of chuckled a little because Sheamus called Randy Borton, so obviously somebody's been reading Twitter, you know. But this match, it was very fluid, you know. It seemed pretty even as far as on how the guys throwing back and forth with each other, but it lacked story, you know. And I don't know about anyone else, but again, like I said, it's an opinion-based show, and sometimes I throw my opinion out there a little too much. So if I am on this episode, by all means, feel free to tell me. Always open to criticism, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. But I don't know about anyone else, but when I watch wrestling, I'm looking for the storytelling. I'm looking for the reason. Why are you telling me this person is going against this person? What's the story behind it? What's it leading to? Is it going to lead to something more? I mean, obviously, Owens wound up showing it in the end, but really, I was just like, what? Oh? But yeah, it was not much storytelling as to why these two are going against each other, you know, but in the end, it wound up turning into, well, I believe it got called into a DQ because while Owens and Randy were outside, Sheamus just hopped right off the commentary and wound up catching Randy. Next thing you know, ref called for the belt, and next thing you know, Cesaro came out, started going to town, and then Owens gave Cesaro pop-up powerbomb, and then as he's walking away, he gets up to the ramp and then does the Randy Orton Atlas pose. So Owens, he's obviously, contrary to what Kevin fucking Dunn, the biggest douche nozzle in the company, would like to think, the guy shouldn't be a mid-carder. No, he shouldn't even be king of the mid-cards. The guy should be, you know, even if you're not going to give him the world title right now, have him be a top-tier guy. Have him be a top guy. Because Owens can work. Owens can work. He can draw. Guarantee Owens can draw, because Owens is breaking the damn mold as far as on how wrestlers look. Because, hey, to all you kids out there watching this that haven't watched any wrestling aside from WWE or TNA, not all wrestlers are like 6'6", 250 and look like a freaking jacked up, you know, bodybuilder. No, some of them are like 5'8", 5'5", 220, but still, yeah, and some of them even got guts, and some ain't the best. Some don't look the best. You got some dudes that'll look like frickin' John Cena, and then you got some dudes that look like Bastion Booger. But unlike Booger, he wasn't. They're not jobbers. A lot of times they're not jobbers. But yeah, point being, all wrestlers are not created equal, folks. We come in all different shapes, forms, and sizes. Do not just go and think right off bat that, hey, that's the prototype mold. No, because seriously, that's all I got to say on that. But as far as what Owens goes, it's looking like that they're going to do a match between Owens and Cesaro, leading into at SummerSlam. Now, what could work even better if they're not going to have Cena versus Seth with title versus title, like I suggested earlier, what they could do, Cena versus Owens and Cesaro, triple threat for the title, that way they can end the whole U.S. title, who deserves a shot debacle, and then have either one of them, Owens or Cesaro, get the win the title. They don't even have to pin Cena, they can pin the other guy, and then have that be a match at SummerSlam for the title between them two, because obviously they both know on how to work a match, between Cesaro's work from Combat Zone and Ring of Honor, and obviously Kevin frickin' Owens in Ring of Honor. These guys know on how to put on a show, and will not just do a WWE kind of show. No, they will do a barn burner. They can do a barn burner, folks. No lie. Now, excuse me. Main event of the night now. Cena versus Seth for the U.S. title. And not even gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna try and make it sound like it was a million times better than it was, because it's not. It had the normal Cena main event on Raw feel to it. The only big part of it that was a wow was right out of nowhere, Seth just wham, threw a knee up and caught Cena right in the nose. Obviously, you could tell Cena broke his nose doing that. Whether he got a concussion or not, I don't know. I know for a fact, though, if he did get a concussion, it's possible he did get a concussion, because not even in the ring, I broke my nose, of all things, in a fist fight. Story for another time. I won't tell it on here. All I will say is that the other person couldn't see out of their eye for a few days. And that's the truth. But, yeah, I broke my nose and I wound up getting a Class 2 concussion from it. I wasn't allowed to sleep for 24 hours. Couldn't touch any NSAIDs or any over-the-counter medication NSAIDs, ibuprofen, Tylenol, aspirin, nothing. I had to deal with that, and oh my God, was that headache horrible. Nose swelled up to the size of nose wound up swelling up to the size of like my damn fist. Yeah. Cena wound up, but Cena was oozing out some blood pretty good. Yeah, he got a busted nose pretty good. That's in all fairness, though, that was very much so needed, because now, in a way, that gives Seth more credibility, saying that, hey, he's a dangerous man. That fucker wound up busting Cena's nose in the middle of a match. Because now that gives the average common fan, not the intelligent ones, but the common fan that don't know the little ins and outs and such. They're gonna wind up looking at that saying, "Damn, Seth did that to him, and no one else ever did." Whoa. Yeah, that'll make it look impressive on him. And aside from that, it also gives Cena credit that he doesn't need, because Cena wound up getting the win. You know, he wound up getting an STF on Seth, and yeah. So that was that. So that's it. That was it. And they ended the show with Cena, you know, holding up the title upside down, and he was obviously wobbling a little. So it's possible he may have a concussion, but if he doesn't, you know, that to answer any speculation as to, well, if he doesn't have a concussion, why is he like that? Dude, you try getting your nose busted and then seeing if you can stand normal for a good minute or two, for a good few minutes after that. Really? Fucking people. So yeah, that's it for this week's show. All in all, I give this Raw a good 3 out of 5, you know. Nothing too special on it, but it's, you know, it's the first post-Raw after, it's the Raw after a pay-per-view fallout that's supposed to help build into the next pay-per-view. So, and SummerSlam now, we're 4 weeks out, so we're going to be getting more, as time goes. So, just give it some time, folks. So, like on normal, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch the other episodes. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Make sure you also check my backup account, Tim_Vicious. Also, do not forget to check out the music that my executive producer, Mr. Oliver Rewind Ben, I should say. Sorry, Ollie. Wound up providing for this show. Details in regards to this music are in the description box. Also, do not forget to follow all of these cool-ass cats right here on Twitter. Vicky Earls, I am Danny Sunday. Don't forget to check out Danny on the show See It or Skip It. I got the opportunity to guest spot on 2 different occasions. It is a good show. Monkey Morris, Axel Mulligan, Sunday Segway, Simply Sabrina, Cranky Grandpa, Legion Lady Aaron, Oliver Ben, Just a Stupid Mark. Do not forget to check out Ollie Ben and Mask Mark's War Paint and Mask show, as well as Ollie does do work for the See It and Skip It show as well as my client, who, as I have said before, is the true Raw General Manager, Bronx Bitch Forever. And, folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me, fuck you.